We love food trucks. We love food trucks so much that we have food truck rodeos. They're festive, they're fun, they're delicious. What's not to like? But inside a food truck, it's hard work. Hot, fast-paced, stressful, but rewarding. We meet the owner of a pizza food truck who's making a go of it in the Champlain Valley. That's today's story of the day.
Support for Story of the Day comes from Pearsall Wealth Management of Raymond James, Glens Falls, offering financial planning and investing advice to clients for over 40 years. Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Hey, I'm David Sommerstein. It's Thursday, June 25th. First up, nurses at the hospital in Malone ratified a new contract yesterday. Kara Chapman has more on that agreement and the status of negotiations with other North Country hospitals.
The new contract between Alliside Medical Center and the 70 or so union nurses there maintains their current health benefits and gives them annual raises over the next 4 years. The New York State Nurses Association union says the wages will help recruit and retain nurses to ensure safe staffing. The contract also includes improved protections against workplace violence and new protections against artificial intelligence. Alliside President Michelle LeBeau said in a statement that the agreement, quote, reflects our shared commitment to our patients, the community, and to the future of healthcare in the region. Alliside is one of the 3 New York-based hospitals in the University of Vermont Health Network. Union members at Elizabethtown Community Hospital in Essex County settled a contract at the end of March. The next bargaining sessions on a new agreement with Champlain Valley Physicians Hospital in Plattsburgh are scheduled to take place next week. These contract negotiations are happening as UVM Health works to address a projected $300 million budget gap over the next 3 years. Earlier this month, the network laid off 142 people system-wide, more than half of whom were permanently eliminated. 19 of the affected employees were based at CVPH. The union said they include the nurses who work at the Adirondack Blood Donor Center, which is slated for closure as part of the cuts. The center supplies almost all the blood used at CVPH and supplies several other hospitals in the region. The plan is to transition blood acquisition to the American Red Cross. The nurses' union has started a petition calling on UVM Health to reverse the decision to close the center. The union is planning a speak out next week. Kara Chapman, North Country Public Radio.
The latest Siena Research Institute poll shows Governor Kathy Hochul's favorability and approval ratings have improved over the past few months. According to the poll, Hochul now has a 43% favorability rating, up slightly from 41% in April. Meanwhile, 53% of New York's registered voters surveyed say they approve of the job she's doing. That's up from 48% in the last poll. In the race for governor, the poll finds Hochul has extended her lead over Republican Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman. Hochul now leads Blakeman by 20 points, 52 to 32%, up from a 16-point lead in April. Still, Blakeman's favorability has risen too, to 25%, up from 17% in April, although a majority of voters still don't know who he is or don't know enough to have an opinion. After more than a decade of planning, 3 years of construction, and $800 million in taxpayer funding, the Buffalo Bills have cut the ribbon on their new stadium. The New York Public News Network's Ryan Zunner reports.
It was a who's who of Buffalo Bills history at the ribbon cutting. Legendary players like Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas, dignitaries from government and pro sports, and thousands of tradespeople who put near nonstop efforts into getting Highmark Stadium built. Team owner Terry Pagula giving credit to them.
Behind me is a wall with, right now, 5,369 names of you hardworking Americans who got this stadium built. It's one thing to talk about it. It's one thing to get the money. It's another thing to get it done. So thank you.
Governor Kathy Hochul, a Buffalo native, says it was imperative that state and county government finance the project to keep the team in Buffalo. About $850 million in public money paid for the stadium, while $550 million came from the Bills and the NFL.
The economic benefit, but also there's a psychological benefit. Buffalo would not be Buffalo without this team, part of our identity.
Architecture firm Populous designed the stadium. Lead designer Jonathan Malley worked with the Pagulas, having been inspired by the fan base first experience during a visit to England's Tottenham Stadium.
There was an intimacy about that building, and that was really the quality that we wanted to, capture and take forward. But This stadium was designed purely for Buffalo.
The legacy of Bills founder, the late Ralph Wilson, was undeniable during the ceremony. His widow, Mary Wilson, was emotional as a featured guest.
Today, I'm wearing his Hall of Fame scarf when he went into the Hall of Fame. And this is definitely a Hall of Fame football stadium, Highmark Stadium. Congratulations. And what do we say? Go Bills!
The Bills will play preseason games at the stadium, with the first regular season game scheduled for September 17th against the Detroit Lions. In Buffalo, Ryan Zunner for the New York Public News Network.
Starting your own business can be a scary endeavor. But for one first-time business owner, pizza was the thing that made it worth the jump. Today's North Country at Work follows an entrepreneur who started his own pizza food truck. Our North Country at Work intern, Kainat Beg, brings us the story from Keysville.
Connor Stone always dreamed of being a farmer. So he went to Colorado to study sustainable agriculture.
I was like, I'm going to be a farmer. I'm going to own a farm. I'm going to run a farm. And then, after working for farms for like 5 to 7 years, I'm like, okay, this is really hard.
He discovered farming wasn't his calling when he was working at North Point Community Farm in the Champlain Valley. But he didn't want to leave the area. He had found a community there.
It felt like a little treasure chest I opened up and found, just so many cool people. I mean, it's not just all ag too. There's a lot of really inspiring people in this area that have started small businesses.
So he thought back to his college days. He'd always had a passion for connecting food and people.
When I was living in Colorado, going to school, I managed a kitchen at a pizzeria and, learned the ins and outs of the dough, the food ordering, just really enjoyed it. And I also love pizza.
So he decided to start a small business of his own.
All the pieces just kind of fell into place, and I just, it came to me, and I was like, a food truck, that's kind of the way to do it.
Luckily for Stone, nearby Ausable Brewing was looking to host another food truck. In the early summer of 2025, Stone set up shop and began facing the trials and tribulations of owning a small business.
And I remember the feeling of, wow, there's like 40, 50 people here. It's a big party. Most of these people are here for me. They came to support me. And then I'm just like, okay, now I want to party and hang out, but I also got to cook pizza for these 50 people.
At his first event, he faced a few learning curves.
I got into the flow, and I burnt a lot of pizzas trying to figure out the ovens. It was my first time using them. And I just remember feeling like totally overwhelmed with the amount of support, like all of my friends, my community showed up.
Working in the North Country comes with a set of unique seasonal challenges. The pizza truck being his only source of income, Stone began selling frozen pizzas to carry him through the winters.
So this winter was a big learning winter for me. It's a weird feeling to just run, and then just slow down. Yeah, so I've just been kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel trying to get by, and now it's go time again, and it feels great for me, and my bank account is also very excited.
Being a first-time business owner is something you can never quite prepare for.
I have to make sure I stay on top of things and have a huge list that just seems to always grow and grow and grow. And, I'm checking boxes, but it keeps piling on.
Staying connected with his farming roots when the season gets going, Stone gets many of his ingredients from the North Point Community Farm, where he continues to work once a week. He hopes to eventually hire and train more employees to continue his work at the truck.
I can see myself doing it for a long time and expanding. And but yeah, I think that's a few years down the road, and that's okay. I've kind of signed myself up for a crazy few years, and I knew that, and I know that still.
There is a long journey ahead, but Stone is excited for it. He hopes he'll be cooking pizzas for a long time. For North Country Public Radio's North Country at Work project, I'm Kainat Beg in Keysville.
Big shout out to our new North Country at Work intern, Kainat, on her first story. She's doing great work. Anna Williams-Bergen also contributed. Music today by Eric Pasternak of Bloomingdale and the late Dan Berggren of Ballston Spa. I'm David Sommerstein, North Country Public Radio.